Well, good morning. This is Jagendra Rana. We are discussing today a landmark legal case. A landmark legal case. This is a case titled as United India Insurance Company Limited versus Manu Bhai. Manu Bhai, Dharam Singh Bhai, Gajera and others. Manu Bhai, Dharam Singh Bhai, Gajera and others. Let's see the introduction of the case. The case of United India Insurance Company Limited versus Manu Bhai, Dharam Singh Bhai, Gajera and others 2008 is a landmark judgment by the Supreme Court of India that significantly impacted the insurance industry. The case addressed critical issues of policyholders' rights, transparency, and the obligations of insurance companies. So the decision set a precedent in handling disputes regarding the repudiation of claims, reinforcing the principle of fairness and good faith in the insurance industry. So this delves into the detail of the case, analyzing its background, legal principles, judgment, and the profound influence it has had on the insurance sector. The dispute arose from the denial of insurance claim by United India Insurance Company Limited for damages caused by a fire at the respondent's property. So the insured Manu Bhai, Dharam Singh Bhai, Gajera had purchased a fire insurance policy covering his industrial premises. Now the policy was active at the time of the incident. And the claim was filed within the stipulated period. Now the insurance company repudiated the claim on the grounds of alleged misrepresentation and non-disclosures by the insured regarding the actual use of property. It has claimed that the insured had failed to disclose that hazardous chemicals were stored in the premises, which increased the risk factor and rendered the policy void. The insured contested the repudiation, arguing that the company had acted in bad faith by denying a legitimate claim. He filed a complaint with the District Consumer Forum, which ruled in his favor, directing the insurer to settle the claim. Now, United India Insurance challenged this decision, and the matter escalated to the Supreme Court. Now, the case centered on the following issues. First, non-disclosure and misrepresentation, whether the insured had failed to disclose material facts that could affect the underwriting of the policy, whether the insurer had adequately communicated its underwriting requirement to the insured. Second, good faith and fair dealing, whether the insurer acted in bad faith by repudiating the claim, the extent to which the doctrine of abuverium fights, that is utmost good faith, applies to both parties, And third, the consumer rights. The insured's right as a consumer under the Consumer Protection Act in 1986, and the insurer's obligation to provide clarity and transparency in the policy terms. So these were the main key legal issues. Main or key legal issues, you can say. Now, argument presented by the insurance company were the company argued that the insured violated the principles of utmost good faith by failing to disclose the storage of hazardous chemicals on the premises. It claimed that the non-disclosure materially impacted the risk assessment and premium calculation. And the company further argued that the policy became void due to the breach of the duty of disclosure as stipulated in the contract. While the insured argued that the insured contended that he had fully disclosed the nature and use of the property at the time of obtaining the policy. He argued that the insurer had inspected the premises and was aware of the storage of chemicals. And the reputation was alleged to be an act of bad faith intending to avoid settling a valid claim. Now, the Supreme Court delivered a landmark judgment upholding the principle of fairness and transparency in insurance contracts. The court ruled in favor of the insured, emphasizing the following points. First, duty of the insurer. The insurer has an obligation to conduct thorough inspection and assessment before issuing a policy. It cannot rely solely on the principles of utmost good faith to repudiate claims without sufficient evidence of intentional non-disclosure or misrepresentation by the insured. Secondly, material non-disclosure. The court noted that the insurer failed to prove that the alleged non-disclosure was material or deliberate. So the insured had disclosed all relevant facts to the best of his knowledge, and the insurer's surveyor had inspected the premises. Third one, the transparency in policy terms. The judgment underscored the importance of clear and unambiguous policy terms. Ambiguities in the contract are to be interpreted in favor of the insured. Fourth, consumer rights. The court affirmed that the insurance policyholders are entitled to fair treatment and prompt settlement of legitimate claims. So it criticized the insurer for its lack of due diligence and acting contrary to the interest of the consumer. And the last one is application of the Consumer Protection Act. The court held that the insurance disputes fall within the purview of the Consumer Protection Act, allowing policyholders to seek redress for grievances. Now, this case had far-reaching implications for the insurance sector, reshaping the way insurers handle claims and interact with policyholders. Key takeaways include reinforcement of good faith. The judgment reinforced the mutual obligation of the good faith in insurance contracts. Insurers were reminded of their duty to act responsibly and transparently, both at the time of underwriting and during claim settlements. Then there is a greater accountability for insurers. Insurance companies became more accountable for their underwriting practices. The decision discouraged arbitrary repudiation and compelled insurers to strengthen their due diligence. Next, consumer-centric approach. The case highlighted the importance of protecting consumer rights in the insurance industry. So it encouraged policyholders to assert their rights and seek legal recourse for unjust claim denials. Then improved clarity in contracts. Insurers were prompted to draft clearer and more comprehensive policy documents, ensuring that policyholders fully understand the terms and conditions, and enhanced regulatory oversight. The judgment has spurred regulatory bodies like the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India to tighten oversight of claims practices and enforce stricter guidelines for insurance. Now the question is why this case is significant. Defining material non-disclosures. The case provided clarity on what constitutes material non-disclosure, ensuring that insurers cannot arbitrarily void policies. Then balancing power dynamics. It addressed the inherent power imbalance between insurers and policyholders, establishing a fairer playing field. And that's strengthening consumer confidence. By holding insurers accountable, the judgment restored consumers' confidence in the insurance process. And the last one is influence beyond India. The principles established in this case resonated globally, as many jurisdictions looked to this judgment for guidance on similar issues. So the United India Insurance Company Limited versus Manu Bhai, Dharam Singh Bhai Gadira and others case is a cornerstone in the history of insurance law. By prioritizing fairness, transparency, and accountability, it significantly shaped the practices and policies of insurers in India. So this judgment serves as a beacon for policyholders and insurers alike, reminding them of their respective rights and obligations under the law. This case was decided in 2008, and the Supreme Court said that as the insurance industry continues to evolve, cases like this underscores the importance of judicial intervention in ensuring that the interests of all stakeholders are protected, fostering a more robust and equitable insurance ecosystem. So this landmark legal case is a precedent to all insurance companies, especially general insurance companies, who are rejecting, repudiating, and not settling the valid and genuine claims of the insurers on flimsy grounds. And so the confidence or the trust of the insurers is breached. So this landmark legal case has restored that belief and confidence. Thank you. Thank you very much.